country. So on today's video, I'm going to take a trip up to the Black Kettle National Grasslands. I do a little shed hunting here this afternoon. We got a really pretty day in store in western Oklahoma coming up, and I got the day off, so I didn't want to spend it just sitting at home. I wanted to get out and enjoy the day and kind of start getting back to my youth a little bit. I spent a lot of time as a kid up at Black Kettle with my dad and my uncle and my cousins, and we did a lot of hunting and fishing up there when I was young, and something I really enjoyed doing, something I really miss. And I'm going to try to spend a lot more time this year kind of getting back to my youth and doing some things that I used to do when I was younger. I'm going to try and kind of dedicate this year to my uncle and my dad. I lost my uncle a few years ago, and my dad is really in bad health right now. He can't get out and do the things I know he loved to do, and it really pains me to see him in that situation and not being able to get out and enjoy his retirement, being so ill. So I wanted to kind of take time at whatever cost, it doesn't matter, to kind of relive some of these memories that I have of going to Black Kettle and spending days and days and days just hunting and fishing and spending time in the outdoors with my dad and my uncle and my cousins. So that's what I'm going to do today. Just going to go up there and just walk around, see what I can find, take you guys along with me, and see if we can pick up some deer antlers. I'm pretty sure it may be a little early for that yet, but I want to get up there and get ahead of people. If anybody else goes up there looking for them, I want to be able to find them first. So just going to take the opportunity that I have for today and go up there and see what I can find. So come along with me. We'll see what we can come up with. Right now I'm headed to the store to get some gas and something to eat and something to drink, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we got all gassed up, got my drinks, got my snacks. Tammy got up early and made me a breakfast sandwich to take with me. I was wanting to get up and get out early before it got daylight and get up there, but I overslept and didn't get out till it's almost 8 o'clock now. So it'll be about an hour before I get there and get started. So I'm running a little bit late, but one thing that my dad would always do whenever we'd get out to go fishing somewhere, we'd stop by the local convenience store there, and he'd always tell me to get me a drink and a snack. And I pretty much would always grab the same thing. I'd get a Mountain Dew and I'd get me a Three Musketeers. So that's what I did today. Just went in there, grabbed me a Mountain Dew and a Three Musketeers, and I probably have it eaten before I even get where I need to go, just like what I do when I was a kid. Usually before we'd even get to the lake, I'd have it eaten. But we only live about 5 miles from the lake. That's at Foss State Park, so it'll be Foss Reservoir. So it wouldn't take me long to get my Mountain Dew drunk and my Musketeer ate before we get out and do whatever we was doing. We did a lot of bank fishing when I was younger. We didn't have a boat for a long time, and we spent a lot of time at night on the bank just fishing off the bank, and caught a lot of fish that way. Had a lot of great memories of that too. Something I'm going to hope to do a little bit of that in the summertime. just to kind of relive those memories and get out and spend some time in nature. A lot more time than I have been in the past. But anyway, I'm going to crack open this Mountain Dew, crack open this Three Musketeers, and get myself up there where I want to start looking for some antlers, where I found some antlers in the past. So just give me about an hour to get there, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so one of the first places that I come to when I get to the Black Kettle National Grasslands is a place called Dead Indian Lake. Now the creek leaving this lake used to be called Dead Indian Creek. So they changed the name of Dead Indian Creek a few years ago to Dead Warrior Creek when Americans started getting offended by everything. And now you come by the creek and there's not even a sign there, so they don't even refer to the creek anymore as Dead Indian Creek or Dead Warrior Creek. This is the sign out in front of Dead Indian Lake, which is just Black Kettle Recreation Area. So I'm going to refer it to Dead Indian Lake because that's what I remember it being named as a kid, and that's what I remember. And I'm not offended by that type of stuff. As you know, Oklahoma has a huge Native American heritage and history, and Black Kettle National Grasslands was named after Chief Black Kettle, who was killed in the Battle of the Ouachita River not too far from here by George Armstrong Custer. Coincidentally, I happen to live in Custer County. So that's what I'm going to refer it to, Dead Indian Lake, if I'm ever up here fishing or doing anything and making videos up here, so you'll kind of get an idea of where I'm at and what I'm doing. But I'm just going to take you around here and show you the lake real quick. I'm not going to stop or anything. So we've been in a pretty bad drought over the past year, and up here is especially no exception. So there's the lake kind of looking up from the boat ramp. You can see how far the lake is, or how low the lake is. The ramp is actually out of the water. You see the boat ramp there is out of the water. You can see along the dam there where the water normally sits and how high the drawdown is. So there's the first little recreation area that you come to, as I'm going to refer it to as Dead Indian Lake. I used to spend a lot of time up here in the summertime and as a kid, and I plan on doing a lot more stuff up here in the future. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there real quick, just drive up here and show you that. I'm going to continue to go to the spot where I want to start shed hunting, so got another 20 minutes to drive to get to there. So just give me a minute to get there and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've made it to my first little spot where I want to start looking for these antlers. And this is a place I found antlers before. There's a wheat field on one side, and then Black Kettle, the public land, on the other side. And what happens when the deer comes down and jump the fence to get onto the wheat field, that's where they drop their antlers a lot of times. So I'm going to just walk up this fence row and just look right along the field edge, look right along the fence, and see if I can find a shed antler. So it's about, I don't know, half a mile along this wheat field is. So that's how far I got to walk, and then I'll just turn around and come back and kind of go through some of these Henry patches and stuff and see what I can come up with. So if I find anything, then I'll be back. Well, guys, I walked the entire length of the field. Didn't find any deer antlers at all. But you can see just by the tracks here on the field edge, there's a lot of deer coming to this wheat field. Here's one of the main trails that they have coming out. With crossing the fence here, going out to the wheat, you can see just tons and tons of deer tracks. But like I said, I think today is the 20th of February. So I think it's a little early for the deer to really be dropping their antlers. Here's a couple of old scrapes from the rut right here by this old tree. One right there, one right there. There's been a deer right there this morning. Here's a trail coming in. And it looks like to me that a deer peed right there sometime this morning in that scrape. But didn't leave any antlers behind. So I'm gonna make my way back to the pickup. Go hit the next spot that I want to hit. So just give me a minute to get to the pickup, get to the next spot, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so spot number 2 happens to be unit number 2. And I wanted to come to this spot for 2 reasons. One, I found deer antlers down here in the past. And number 2 is I wanted to show you guys one of my bow hunting trees that I bow hunt out of anytime I'm up here hunting. And I've done it for years and years and years out of the exact same tree. And I've managed to kill multiple deer out of the same tree. So if you look right here at this big old bowdark tree, we'll scan up. And right there, you see that little limb that's cut off right there. So I usually hang my stand right above that little cut off limb and hunt out of this little draw right here. So for years and years and years in the past, get my fingers out of the way, I've hunted in this exact same tree. Me and Tammy have sit in this exact same tree and hunted here before. Don't believe she's killed a deer out of this tree, but I know for a fact that I've killed multiples. And I've actually got one on the wall at home that I shot out of this tree a few years back. So what I'll probably do is I'll cut the video here. I'll show you a picture of that deer, of the deer mount that's on the wall at the house. Just to give you a reference of what deer I'm talking about and where I killed that deer. It's one of the hundreds and hundreds of memories that I have of deer hunting up here. It's a special memory for me because that deer was one that was really hard to kill. He was nocturnal. I hunted him for almost a week in this section. And just got really lucky one night. He actually come in under me, right under these low-lying branches right here. He walked right down this path, as you can see. I can remember it just like it was yesterday. And I shot him right here at about 5 yards. He ran about 25 yards up that way, and I found him laying there dead, shot him right through the ribs. I made a perfect shot on him. The thing that I remember, though, was that deer, looking down on that deer from the tree, how wide that deer was. He doesn't have very long tines. He's not going to score anything. But he was one that I remember always, and it's a really cool hunt. So that's my bow hunting tree right there. An old bodark tree that's been there probably since the 30s. You can see there's some really big old trees here. They're all planted in a line. I believe they were planted back during the Dust Bowl, but don't quote me on that. I'm not really sure. So I'm just going to ease down through here and walk out this whole section. And if I find an antler, then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I'm down in the middle of the section now. And this whole area that you see with these big cottonwoods, this used to be solid trees. You couldn't even walk across here. You couldn't see across here. This whole area used to be just nothing but impenetrable woods. Used to be one of the best turkey roost in the whole Black Kettle National Grasslands. Used to be hundreds of turkeys would roost here. Used to be a great bedding area for all the white-tailed deer. And now the state has come in. It's been a few years now since they've done it, but they came in and they just cleaned this all out. They took a lot of these trees out, opened it up. Looks like there's a couple of young bodarks that are getting hammered by the bucks. That one and that one there. But what they did, in my opinion, is ruined a really good hunting spot and a real good turkey roost. And they've made way for all these invasive cedars to start sprouting. Everywhere you look in here, you have these cedars sprouting up all over. So I'm assuming they thought they were doing the land some good by clearing this all out. And of course they've got cattle in here. One of the big things that really over the years that's really upset me is the fact that the government leases all this land to run their cattle on. And even during hunting season, you know, you got to deal with these cattle. This is the cow trail that I'm walking right now. But you can see they've opened this canopy up, which has allowed all of these little cedar trees to sprout. And ruined the turkey roost. I got a friend of mine that is a real big turkey hunter. And this was one of his favorite spots to turkey hunt. And he was telling me that there are very few turkeys even roost down here anymore. They use another spot to roost. But yeah, they came in and cleaned all this up. Got hundreds of little saplings sprouting up everywhere now. So it'll be back to what it was, you know, eventually. Here are the woodpeckers. Haven't seen anything. I've seen 2 deer. I jumped 2 deer earlier. That's all I've seen so far. I'm going to get up over this little hill right here. There used to be a little duck pond at the end of this little draw that had all these trees in it. This is another kind of really familiar, special spot for me because we used to come down here and try to shoot the ducks off of this little pond. Did a lot of squirrel hunting back in here when I was younger. There used to be a lot of squirrels used to stay here. I'm sure there's a few squirrels still here, but I don't believe it's like it used to be. I mean, this is covered in saplings just all over. And there is a little bit of water. So that's why the cottonwoods are able to survive down in here, because this is a low and it's really wet in here all the time. Even though we've been in a big drought, there's still some water right there. You see the cattle been in here just recently. I haven't seen them, but they're in here somewhere. I'm sure they're in that water hole, pooping and peeing in the water, contaminating the water for the other wildlife. So this is kind of the little dam that holds back the pond. Some years it's, you know, pretty big, and some years it's dry, and this year it's kind of like this. Just contaminated with cow pee and poop. So that's really good for the wildlife, I believe. So I'm just going to make a big circle here and walk back up towards the pickup. Is that a deer antler? Holy cow. Is that a deer antler? Oh, nope. I thought that was a deer antler laying there in the sand. That would have been awesome. You can see where the cattle have been in here. Just kind of upsets me that happens, but it is what it is. Okay guys, so I'm going to make a big circle, come back around. If I find something interesting, I'll be back. So right here is one of the few positive things I guess that they do when they're running cattle on public lands like this, is they do drill these water wells to be able to water their cattle. This one here hasn't been checked in a long time because the water hose is actually not even in the tank. Just running down off that away. I'll put it in the tank. We got cloudy skies, so the solar pump's not really got the pump moving a lot of water right now. So I'll put it in there. Eventually that'll fill up, and that'll give the place for the deer to drink. See a lot of raccoon tracks and stuff actually inside of there. And what this is a ramp they put in there just in case little animals like squirrels or possums or something fall in the water. They got a place that they can climb out. So that's what that is right there. Just a little ramp for the wildlife to get out and they don't drown in there. But yeah, one little positive that they do is they drill these wells and give the wildlife some water. So we'll leave that just like that and let that run in there and fill up. We've got an overflow here that goes into another tank. So yeah, there's a little bit of positive, I guess, if you can look at it that way. So we're just gonna keep on our travels, heading back north, back where we came from. Okay guys, so we just pulled into the next recreational area here in the Black Kettle National Grasslands. This particular lake is one that I'm very familiar with. I got a lot of history with, a lot of fond memories of camping and fishing and swimming and all kinds of things here at this lake. This is one that actually has a name, or actually they left the sign up with the name on it because it's not associated with any Native American names at all. This happens to be Spring Creek Lake. Instead of just Black Kettle Recreation Area. Let's drive down here and see what the lake looks like. I expect it to be pretty low, just like Dead Indian Lake is, just because of the drought. Now this place has a really nice camping area. It's got bathrooms, it's got running water, it's got a lot of picnic tables, and it's a place I think where a lot of folks come and camp when it's during deer season and during turkey season and stuff. It's not really a boat ramp here. but we have had our boat on this lake in the past when the water was up a lot more than it is now. And it is really low, as you can see. You know, the water should be up to the tree line if it was full, and it's quite a bit low, which is to be expected with the amount of rain that we've had, or lack of rain. We'll just go up here and kind of go, and I'll show you the camping area. I spent a lot of nights in a tent on the ground out here during deer season. I used to park the camper here quite a bit when I had the camper and stay in the camper, but not anybody out here today. I see one person across the lake on the other side. There's the bathrooms. And there's the little camping areas there. They got a lot of picnic tables and stuff. Looks like a lot of the trees have been cut down. I guess a lot of these old trees are dying, and they're having to cut them down just to make sure they don't fall over on people. So they've cut several of the trees down, which is a shame. So there's a little quick look at Spring Creek Lake. So I noticed this video is getting a little long, guys. I think I'm going to call it right here. We didn't find any antlers in this video, but I'm thinking about doing a whole series of videos on the Black Kettle National Grasslands, and just come up here and spend some time and bring you guys along, just kind of give you my knowledge of the area and some of my memories of hunting and fishing and stuff up here. Do a little bit more shed hunting. Try to get out here as many times as I can before turkey season. Once turkey season comes in, there's a lot of people up here turkey hunting. Those antlers will be found and picked up pretty quickly. So anyway, we're going to end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though we didn't find any antlers. Got to see and reminisce a little bit and talk about the history of the area, and I hope you got some kind of entertainment and knowledge out of that. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll be back.